Yes, is it visible now clearly? So in the previous classes we have studied regarding water requirement of crops, right? So in that we have discussed problems on duty delta, how to calculate what is the requirement of water for a given cropping pattern or given land of crop, right? Now in previous sessions we have studied the concept of soil moisture, in which we have studied what is meant by field capacity. So this will be the maximum water that can be stored into the soil stratum, which can be stored against the gravity, right? If something or water beyond this capacity, if it is supplied to the soil, then the excess water may drained out, that will drain out of that stratum, right? Say if a dry soil, oven dried soil, if it is kept in open atmosphere, then it will absorb some of the moisture from the atmosphere. So that is known as hygroscopic water, which can be absorbed from atmosphere. Beyond that, if water is supplied to the stratum, in that case the water content of soil will going to enhance, and that excess water will be termed as capillary water. If in excess to that above some water is again supplied, then that will be the up to field capacity with which that this soil stratum can retain water in the entire soil stratum. Beyond this, the entire water will go out of the soil stratum, and that will not be retained against the gravity, right? Now, how much is the depth of water that can be stored in a ground or in the soil for the growth of crops, that we are going to discuss it today, right? So for this, say we are knowing general concept of density, which will be equal to weight by volume, right? So this is a general formula that you have learnt in your soil mechanics. Now to start with, to derive the formula for depth of water stored in the root zone, in order to estimate how much is the depth of water in terms of meter, as it is the depth that we are considering. So it will be having unit as either in meter or centimeter, right? So for that we will assume that water is supplied to the field of 1 meter square surface area, like this, having depth of root zone as D. So in which, say, from the ground surface in a cropped land the roots are growing, and that depth is D. So these roots will extract water from this certain depth and the crops may grow. So it is having a depth D, and we are considering the surface area as 1 meter square. So unit meter square of land we will consider having depth of root zone as D. So volume of this soil stratum will be equal to 1 meter square surface area, and depth will be D. So this is simple basic that we need to consider, right? Now you can write down a statement below there that in order to estimate in order to estimate the depth of water stored in order to estimate the depth of water stored in the root zone of soil in the root zone of soil containing water up to field capacity, up to field capacity, up to field capacity, let small d be the depth of small d be the depth of root zone. So this is depth d that we have assumed for root zone in which the roots of crop will grow, and they will find very ease in extracting the water and supplying it for the crops for their growth, right? Say below that a soil stratum will be there and it is having some moisture content in that. Then also the soil which is having water or which is having capacity to hold water in this top surface, that will be only useful for this crops. So therefore this D we have assumed it as depth of root zone. So unit for this we will consider it as meter. And as in the previous statement it is said, for this area there will be water which has been supplied and it is up to FC, which is equal to field capacity. Now you are knowing three-phase system of soil, right? The soil stratum which comprises of three elements, that is soil solids, then air voids and water or moisture content in that. So based on this simple concept, now we are going to determine what is the depth of water that will get stored in this particular volume of stratum under consideration, which will be helpful for these crops that can grow in this particular area, right? So write on next line, let gamma, so this will be unit weight or density of soil. So if you are using unit as kilonewton per meter cube, it will be unit weight. If you are using kg per meter cube as the unit, then it will be density that we can write for the notation gamma. Then gamma W will be equal to density or unit weight of water. So which will be generally having value as 1 gram per cc, or unit weight of water, if we are considering in terms of kg per meter cube, it will be 1000 kg per meter cube, and unit weight of water will be equal to 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube, or in other words it will be 9180 Newton per meter cube. So depending on units, you should be knowing the value of unit weight of water or density of water, right? Now these four terms are required in which we are considering unit surface area or 1 meter square of surface area. Depth of root zone we are considering it as D. FC, say water is supplied to this land and it will be having moisture content of that soil is FC. As beyond this or in excess to FC, if water is supplied to this ground, then that excess water will go out of the soil as it will not be held up against gravity. The soil is having water holding capacity against water only up to FC. Therefore, this is the maximum water holding capacity of this soil, right? So gamma is density of soil and gamma W is the unit weight or density of water. Right on next line, consider unit area, or 1 meter square area of soil. right? So volume of soil under consideration will be 1 meter square surface area and depth will be D. Volume in turn we can write 1 into D meter cube. Therefore, for field capacity FC, what we can write? As I said, it is the maximum moisture content or maximum water holding capacity of soil. So what is meant by moisture content or water content? It will be a ratio of weight of water, that is WW by weight of soil solids. This is general phenomena of moisture content. So same we can write it in terms of weights now. So that will be weight of water retained in unit area, weight of water retained in unit area. So it will be weight of water WW divided by weight of soil in the same, that is unit area, right? Now for weight of soil, you are knowing the concept that density or unit weight gamma will be equal to, what is the formula for gamma? It will be weight by volume. So it will be W by volume of soil will be now, as we have considered it as 1 meter square of area and depth of soil under consideration is D. Therefore, this will be volume. Now this weight of soil, we can write it as Ws will be equal to product of gamma into 1 into D. Say unit weight multiplied by volume. So we are going to put this in the above equation. So therefore Fc will be equal to weight of water retained in unit area divided by, so weight of soil will be gamma into 1 into D, right? Therefore, weight of water retained will be equal to Fc into gamma into D, as 1 meter square or unit area that we have considered. Therefore, I can write it as gamma into D only. So this weight of water retained WW will be now Fc into gamma into D. Now again same formula we can apply it for converting weight of water to the depth or rather to the volume of water by using the concept of gamma itself. Say density or unit weight of water, what we can write? Again same formula, weight by volume. Okay. So weight of water retained, already we have this formula Fc into gamma into D. Now what will be the volume under consideration for this is, say 1 meter square is the surface area, and as we have considered D as depth of soil stratum, here we have to write it as depth of water, right? Same phenomena we are going to use it. Therefore, we can write this formula in terms of depth of water stored now. So it will be depth of water stored. So this water will be stored in the root zone depth, that is, which will be equal to Fc into gamma into D divided by gamma W, right? So this is the formula for deciding how much is the depth of water required for a particular crop for its healthy growth, right? So what parameters we will require? FC, that is field capacity or maximum water holding capacity, will be required. Unit weight of soil along with unit weight of water will be known to us, and depth of root zone is required. So by this we can say as clear it. Okay. If suppose say D is the depth of soil in that entire stratum, partially it will get covered or it will get filled with the water or moisture. So that we have to work out what is the depth of water that will get stored in this particular D or depth of root zone. Once this depth of water or say water is supplied to the irrigation land, it will get filled up to its capacity FC or maximum water capacity. Beyond that also, if you will supply water, then that will not be of any use for the growth of crop. It will get drained out of that system, right? Now though we are supplying water up to field capacity, this is the maximum water content of a soil. In the previous class also we have discussed that there is a certain minimum water content is to be maintained for the growth of soil, and that will be termed as say moisture which is required for the growth is wilting point. So nowhere in the cropped land or in the agricultural land, moisture content should not fall beyond this wilting point or minimum moisture content. So whenever for a particular land or for the agricultural land water is supposed to be supplied, there will be water content which will get enhanced from say wilting point to the field capacity, and this will be the maximum water that can be held. In between, whatever will be the water that is supplied is the available moisture for the crop, right? Now out of this, as the crops will be having its roots in the depth of root zone, partially they will find very ease in extracting this water. So this is generally partially it will be say about 70 to 80% of the available moisture, and this is termed as readily available moisture. So available moisture will be difference between field capacity and wilting point. So maximum water content minus minimum water content will be the available moisture, and the crop which will be using the water very easily, that is readily available moisture, will be generally 70 to 80% of the available moisture. So water content for a cropped land will always fluctuate from these values, wilting coefficient to the field capacity. Once the moisture content reaches to a minimum value of wilting coefficient or say up to readily available moisture, then that is the usual time where the water is supplied to the soil so that it will get enhanced up to field capacity or maximum water, and it will be available for crops. Again it will go on reducing, and then it will be the time for again watering to the land. So this frequency, after how much time interval that we have to supply water to the land, that we are going to be discussing, right? Now We have the formula written as, so this depth of water stored in the root zone D as Fc into D by gamma W, right? So this moisture content will be available for consumptive use or evapotranspiration. So this is again phenomena from hydrology. Say for evaporation and for transpiration for the cropped land, this much will be the depth of water available. Now, as I said, available moisture will be the difference between these two. We can write the earlier formula in a very simplified form as available moisture depth, that will be equal to gamma into D by gamma W into field capacity minus wilting coefficient. So this Fc will be the maximum water content and wilting coefficient will be the minimum water content. So this is the formula that we are going to use for deciding what is the watering interval or frequency of irrigation. Okay. So hope you have understood the formula for calculating depth of water stored and what is the available moisture that the crop roots can utilize, right? So now we will discuss a problem. You can take down this. Hope it is visible clearly. The following data pertains to the healthy growth of a crop The following data pertains to the healthy growth of a crop. In that first point, field capacity of soil is equal to 30%. Field capacity of soil is equal to 30%. Second point, permanent wilting point is equal to 11%. Third point, density of soil is equal to 1300 kg per meter cube. Next point, effective depth of root zone is 700 mm Daily consumptive use of water is 12 mm. Next line. For healthy growth, comma, moisture content for healthy growth, moisture content must not fall below 25% of the water holding capacity and the permanent wilting point. For healthy growth, moisture content must not fall below 25% of water holding capacity and permanent wilting point. Determine the watering interval in days. Hope you have written this problem statement. So it is the data given for a particular cropped land. The field capacity of soil is given, that is value of Fc is 30%. In other words, we can say this is the maximum water holding capacity of a soil. Then permanent wilting point is 11%. Say this is wilting coefficient, we can write it as WC, wilting coefficient. Density of soil is given as 1300 kg per meter cube. So we will use notation gamma for soil and gamma W for unit weight or density of water. Then effective depth of root zone is given as 700 mm. So it will be value of small d, which is depth of root zone, in which the crop roots will grow and they will extract water and the crops will be growing. Daily consumptive use of water is 12 mm. That is how much will be the stored water is there in the depth of the root zone. Out of that depth, daily 12 mm of water will get consumed by the roots and ultimately by the crop. So daily there is a requirement of 12 mm, and here what is interested to calculate is what is the frequency of watering or what is the watering interval in days, right? And one more condition is given for this land is for healthy growth, moisture content must not fall below 25% of the water holding capacity and permanent wilting point. So there should be minimum, say 75% of available moisture that can be utilized by the soil very easily, or 75% of the available moisture will be the readily available moisture, right? So now we can write down the given data as I have indicated over here. If you have not, then you can do it. Right. So now from this given data we can write the available moisture now. Okay. So field capacity is 30%, wilting coefficient is 11%. So water content is going to fluctuate in between these two moisture contents, and we can write it now as available moisture will be equal to field capacity minus permanent wilting point. So field capacity is 30% and wilting point is 11%. Therefore, available moisture will be how much? 30 minus 11. Yes, it is 19%. Now given is the condition that for healthy growth, moisture content must not fall below 25% of this available moisture. So meaning of this one is readily available moisture is 75% of this available moisture. So we can write it in the form of a statement that given condition is readily available moisture must not fall below 25% of the water holding capacity and permanent wilting point. Therefore, readily available moisture is equal to 100 minus 25 divided by 100. So it will give you 75% of the available moisture. So it will be 75 by 100 into 19. So value of 75% of 19 is 14.25, right? So though the moisture content available is 19%, out of that only 75% of that or 14.25% is the readily available moisture, or this moisture is very easily extracted by the roots for their growth. The next line, write down optimum moisture which will be equal to field capacity, that is maximum moisture content or maximum water holding capacity of soil, minus readily available moisture. So this will be 30% minus 14.25. So how much is the answer? 30 minus 14.25. The value will be 15.75%. So the moisture content can fluctuate from 30% to a 14.25%. Below this, say up to 19%, or say it can go up to 11% of moisture content, then also no problem. But below this 11%, if the water content falls, in that case the crop will not survive. So anywhere the water content of the soil will be required to be maintained as from 30 to 14.25. Right? So in between these, the difference between these two moisture contents is 15.75%. This much water content is required. Right? So write down below. Hence, When irrigation water is applied, when irrigation water is applied, moisture content is raised from 15.75% to 30%. If water is progressively supplied to the ground, nowhere the moisture content will go beyond 30%. Right? Say access to this, that will be drained out because of gravity. Right? Therefore, depth of water stored in root zone during each watering will be equal to, we have the formula as gamma D divided by gamma W to bracket. So the water content will fall from a maximum moisture, that is field capacity, to a water level as this 15.75, which is the optimum moisture content. Right? So we can put the values now, in which this gamma is nothing but unit weight of soil or density of soil, value of which is given as, say, 1300 kg per meter cube is gamma, and value of D or depth of root zone is 700 mm. So 1300 into depth, that we will convert it to meter as we have unit of this density in kg per meter cube, so we will put it in meter. Right? Again, density of water in kg per meter cube will be 1000. Field capacity is 30% and optimum moisture content is 15.75. Therefore, work out what is the value of depth of water stored in root zone. Yes, correct, Roshni. 0.1296. So it will be having unit as meter. We can express it in terms of centimeter as 12.96 centimeters. Right? So in a depth of 700 mm of root zone, we are having water which has been stored, say 12.96 centimeter or 0.1296 in meter. Right? Now we need to decide what is the watering interval. Say once the water is supplied to the irrigation land, it will go up to 30% and it will gradually utilized by the crops, and it will fall, and it is allowed to fall, say up to 15.75. And in this fluctuation, what is the water stored, that we have worked out it as 12.96 centimeter. And in the problem, it has given that the consumptive use, daily consumptive use of water is 12 mm. So that cropped land is requiring 12 mm of water every day. And in a particular watering, we are storing water in the range of, say, 12.96 centimeter. Now it is time to write down what is the watering interval. Say simply it is total water which is stored as 12.96 centimeter. How many days it will be sufficient? say daily 12 mm will get utilized out of this. So write down next line. The depth of water available for evapotranspiration, or you can write consumptive use. The depth of water available for evapotranspiration will be equal to 12.96 centimeter. And we have given the value as daily consumptive use. Daily consumptive use is equal to 12 mm, or we can write it as 1.2 centimeter. Therefore, watering frequency or watering frequency that we can write is equal to depth of water stored in root zone by daily consumptive use of water, or in other words daily need of crop. So it will be, you can write these two values in a same unit, 12.96 centimeter by 1.2 centimeter. You will get this as how much? Okay. 10.8 is the answer that we are getting in the chat box. So generally we can round it off to a lower side as it is the watering interval. So prior you can supply water to the cropping land. Therefore it will be 10 days. So hence water should be supplied to the land after every 10 days. Right? So once the water is applied, there is a capacity to store water in that root zone. Say around 12.96 centimeter is the depth of water that will get stored in the depth of 700 mm. So out of that there is daily usage of 1.2 centimeter. Therefore this will be sufficient for 10 days, and there will be requirement of again watering to the land as after 10 days. So this was the total flow of problem, how we have worked out, right? Say for the given data of this problem, they have given you the field capacity, permanent wilting point as 30 and 11% densities, where they have mentioned and given the condition that readily available moisture should be 75% of the available moisture. So all those things we have worked out, and at the end by using the depth of water stored in the root zone, you have worked out the depth of water as 12.96 centimeter. You have divided it by daily consumptive use to get the watering interval or frequency of irrigation as about 10 days. Remember, you have to round it off always to a lower side, right? If you have any query or doubt related to this problem and today's derivation, then we can discuss, or otherwise we can conclude the session.